In this video, we are going to review employee management. To manage employees, you're going to click Employee on the left side menu panel. Here, you can go to Employee to edit current employees and add new employees. From the Employee Schedule area, you can go here to add, modify, or delete employee schedules. And from the Employee Services, you can go here to enable an employee's services and commission. So let's begin by clicking on Employee. This is where you can view existing employees from the customer scroll list, where you can search for them by clicking on the first initial of their first name. So if I was looking for Mary here, I can come over here and either click on her from here, or if I had a lot of employees and I wanted to find Mary quickly, I could click on the M, and that would bring up Mary's information. To add a new employee, you'd go ahead and click the plus to add, and place all new employee information here, such as first name, last name, employee code, work phone, cell phone, etc. If they're a service provider or you want them associated with certain sales in your company, make sure you enable the service provider. And you could also assign locations. If you have an employee that maybe works at both of your stores and you want them to show up on the application for both stores, you would go ahead and select your other store and place that information here. In addition, the access permissions. You can define access permissions in the settings area of the system, and that's for another video. But for this video, when you're creating your employees, you want to make sure that you select the correct access permission so that they have access to only the areas of the system that you would like them to. Next, we're going to go and we're going to review the employee schedule. We're going to click on that, and this is where you set your employee schedule. You select your week, you select the employee, and then you can go ahead in here and edit their schedule by clicking on the clock icon to change any times. And again, if you are a business that has multi-site locations, you can also change that here. So this employee, let's say, is working at one location, and then on Wednesdays they work at one of your other locations. You can configure that here as well. Under advanced options, you could replicate the schedule. So let's say I wanted this schedule replicated out for up to 6 months max. I click on the calendar here. I go to the date where I want that replicated through, and I would hit replicate, and this schedule for this employee would be replicated to that date that I chose. Now we're going to look at employee services. I'm going to click on services, and we're going to select our employee. And this is where I can enable services that have been previously defined in the system for this employee. And I do this by clicking each enable box, and a check will appear. And let's say this particular employee is doing a perms, a Veda straightener, and a brow tint. By clicking those three and hitting save, those services will now be associated with my employee that I selected from the drop-down box here. I could also choose to reset service price and times from the service list if I choose, And then as far as commission goes, let's say they're going to get a 20% commission. I can type that information in the commission box here, and then I can enable that by clicking on the check and hitting save, and their commission will be enabled for the services that I've selected.